Bring on John Greco. He joins us right now on the fan hotline. Hello, John.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
I sound like hell today, so Lyman's going to take it away from here. I don't know why. Voice is gone.
Too much Super Bowl, Super Browns.
It was too much Super Bowl, Super Browns.
And you know what Ken's going to do? He's going to blame Shedeur and then start a controversy. Oh, Shedeur hit a big pass play and I lost my voice. And Ken's going to play the victim.
Yep. That's how it works, John. What do you think of that, buddy boy?
Sad.
I'm okay with it. A victory Monday, losing your voice. Hey, we're excited about getting that win, man. Shedeur looked good. Everybody's happy.
You said he looked good. You thought he looked good?
That's just something you say.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I'm kidding. I did. He did enough for them to win, obviously. I told you guys on your show that last week that we were going to get 7 sacks. I was wrong. I underestimated it. And they got 10. So, Shedeur threw the ball down the field. Isaiah Bond is fast. He's proven that, and we just haven't been able to get him the ball. All the things that we talk about to how we can help the running game, how we can help a young receiver, soften the defense, loosen up the defense, have them respect the down the field throws. Shedeur did that. And look, guys around him made plays. I like the Wildcat wrinkle in the red zone. He throws a swing pass, and the running backs run 60-plus yards and scores a touchdown. Those are big plays. They had to execute. Guys had to block. So, yeah, Shedeur did enough to have them win the game, and I'm happy for him. It was awesome seeing his dad in the stands. Obviously, I heard the comments of his teammates, while I was waiting to come on the show with you guys. He's, an electric personality and provided them a spark. You could tell everyone is kind of circling the wagons and rallying with him. And let's see what they could do. San Francisco is very beatable. We saw last night how many turnovers that Brock Purdy had in the first half. Probably should have been more.
Should have been.
So they're leaking oil a little bit. I know they got a win last night at home. And, hey, look, you get them on a short week, try to stop CMC and have our pass rushers wreak havoc on Brock Purdy, see if he could throw some more and give us another opportunity. And let's see what we could do. But I'm excited about Shedeur. He did everything he needed to do in that role as having the week of preparation and executed the game plan that they rolled out for him, and they got a win.
John Greco with us. So there's been a lot of talk about the game plan in general, and I've seen some people annoyed that they pulled Shedeur off the field, but here you are talking about how it was a brilliant masterclass on red zone offense and doing something that you're going to limit any of the potential risk and go with something that worked in that Miami game, which was Judkins down there. I don't think it was anything against Shedeur. I think it was, hey, we're putting points on the board and we're going to help. We're going to play some good football, both defensively and offensively.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not looking at it as let's take the ball out of the quarterback's hands because we don't trust him. I saw that kind of narrative. I don't think it's that. I think it's more of what the three of us talked about last Tuesday, and let's get the ball into our playmakers' hands in Quinshon Judkins, and not just have him line up and run the ball in a traditional setting, because we have talked about why there's those issues with him getting hit behind the line of scrimmage, and a lot of these runs not going anywhere. So, hey, keep the Raiders on their toes, throw a wildcat at you in the red zone, and now you have, now the 49ers have to practice that. They have to allocate time on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to practice a wildcat look. So I liked it. It was a little wrinkle. If it didn't work, they'd probably, shelf it for a few weeks and revisit it. But it did, and now teams have to practice it. And I think it'll show up, in between the red zones now, just as a little wrinkle. And I'm okay with that. Anything that they need to do to try to manufacture points and convert first downs, they're going to do it. And, look, you saw the Giants throw the ball to Jameis Winston, and we saw that big play. Who knows? Maybe they're going to try to get Shedeur the ball in some trick play aspects. I don't know. But I didn't look at it as they don't trust the guy down in the red zone. I think it was just trying to get the ball into their playmakers' hands.
What does Shedeur have to do now to keep the job?
Will continue to win, and I don't think it's going to be a situation where, at least I hope it isn't like this. If they come out and it's a bumpy game and he doesn't look great, or there's a turnover, I don't want it to be like a quarterback controversy, because still, we've only seen one game, and I was in the camp where when Dylan Gabriel was starting, I said, look, let's give him a few weeks. I'm going to say that with Shedeur Sanders right now, right, wrong, or indifferent. They got a win last week. He came into the game against Baltimore and it looked ugly, and we talked endlessly about reasons why. Well, he had a full week of preparation, and they won the game. Now he's got a second full week of preparation. It's only going to help his chemistry with receivers, calling the plays. Tommy Reese and Kevin Stefanski are going to feel comfortable about what are his strengths now, what can they do well as a unit. With him leading the offense, what do they not do as well? Let's scrap that, and let's try to get the run game going. But that's kind of my feel on it. And look, for him to keep the job, I think if guys around him continue to elevate and make plays, that's gonna help him keep his job. The defense is going to be the defense. We kind of just set our clocks to them having multiple sacks. We're going to be talking about Myles Garrett. We're going to be talking about the two rookies. We're going to be talking about the veteran D tackles are showing up every game and having success. And the defense, I'm not going to have to worry about them. But is the offense going to be able to do enough and score 3 touchdowns? Because they're going to win a lot of these games coming down the stretch if they could do that. And then who knows what's going to happen if they rattle off some wins here in the last part of the season. What are we going to say then? They're going to put a Shedeur Sanders statue outside of Brown Stadium. And I'm excited about it. This is what this fan base needs. This is what we've been longing for so long. Just a guy that is charismatic, that everybody can buy his jersey and rally behind, that he wins games. And the players, at least last week in Las Vegas, looked like they had, a burst of energy and a belief. So let's see what that looks like this week against San Francisco.
John Greco with us right now talking Browns football. So we played a clip earlier from Connor Orr, Monday morning quarterback, and he brought up Tebow mania when it comes to Shedeur and his fan base. Where were you back in 2011, John Greco, for Tebow mania, and does this compare?
Well, I was a young man playing for the Cleveland Browns and trying to figure things out. But, there are some comparisons. I don't know that – I guess Tebow was a polarizing figure because, he was so successful in college, won the national title, and people kind of questioned if that version was going to translate to the pros and he was going to have this similar success. And, look, Tim Tebow won a playoff game. I think he beat the Steelers, if I'm not mistaken, when they were in Denver. And it was a fun ride. I was aware of it and paying attention, and, was happy to see them beat the Steelers, obviously. But if I'm drawing comparisons to that now, I guess you could, because, there are a lot of people that really want to see Shedeur Sanders do well. And I think it's more people than not. And I don't know if a portion of the fan base that really likes him sees it that way. But there are still, I'm not naive, there are still people that, for whatever reason, want to see that young man fail. I don't know why. And maybe it's the way he carries himself to the media and some of the things he says, or it's because of his family. I don't know. I'm speculating. But I think he's genuine, and I kind of like it. It's different. It's fresh. It's something that, like the Browns, and every time you hear the messaging from Kevin Stefanski, it's very monotone. It's never too high. It's never too low. And that's just what we're used to hearing and seeing. Well, then you have this, charismatic figure come out in the media, to the teammates on the practice field, and he's having fun, and he's trying to, show his personality. And I think some people don't like that for whatever reason, and that's fine. If he continues to win games, who cares who doesn't like that? The Browns are going to be winners, and that's what they all want. So, drawing back to the Tim Tebow comparison, I guess there are some similarities because he's such a polarizing figure. But, for this moment, I'm happy he's our quarterback, and I want to see him do really well.
John Greco joining us on the show. Are you done with Jerry Judy?
Am I done with Jerry Judy? No, because, I think he's still our best option at the receiver position. I get that he's been frustrated all year. And, look, I know you're alluding to the fumble. He kind of, I don't want to say took the play off, but he had a mental lapse and just kind of, forgot that, hey, there's guys chasing me from behind. But no, not yet. Look, are we maybe done seeing the Jerry Judy of old? Maybe. I don't know. But for now, I think he's still our best option on the perimeter. And I think they still have to try to find ways to get him the ball and get him in the end zone, because that's the best way to cure up a rocky relationship is guys scoring points. And you can't turn on ESPN without them talking about the Eagles and some of the dysfunction on offense, and they still continue to be one of the best teams in the NFL in the NFC. And I'm not trying to compare them right now to the Jerry Judy situation, but that's the thing that happens with these receivers and these playmakers that are used to getting the ball and making big plays throughout their career. And when it doesn't happen, of course they're going to be upset. And he's been a professional throughout most of this and a lot of it, and said the right things. But frustrations boil over at some point, and he hasn't gotten in the end zone a lot. He's not making as many catches and big plays as we're used to seeing and what he wants to be as a player throughout his career. So the cure for that is to keep trying to get him the ball and get him in the end zone, because that'll make him happy. And I think we need him still to win games throughout the season.
John, did you ever get a game ball as a football player?
I did get a bunch of game balls. I don't know if I ever got an individual, like, hey, John Greco, here's your game ball. I think the offensive line, they were just like, hey, the offensive line played well. We had a lot of success. We didn't let up any sacks. We scored a lot of points. The running backs had great games. And then by default, they just gave all the offensive line game balls. I have quite a few. I have them showcased in my office. Did
it ever start a war with your fan base compared to maybe the quarterback's fan base at the time?
No. There were some that I played like a crap game, and like Joe Thomas was perfect, and they were like, well, we can't give 4 offensive linemen game balls and not the one guy. We won the game. So those I still have tucked in the closet. But no, I don't think anybody was ever upset that I got a game ball. And let's say the Gary Barnidge that scored 2 touchdowns didn't get one. The whole game ball thing, I've been listening to it, obviously, is kind of funny to me. I don't know why people are so offended and upset about it.
Well, we've had to go back and
I had to say that they had the right to do it.
We had to do an autopsy on prior game balls.
Yeah, but I said I had to defend their right to do it, even though oh, come on. Miles is great, but it's well, you gave Deshaun Watson a game ball and he threw for 206 yards and no touchdowns and no picks, and it was whatever, but you gave him a game ball. So it's well, I guess Shador gets a game ball, and then he didn't get a game ball.
So then I thought that the theory was debunked because Dylan Gabriel did not get a game ball after his first win.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so we don't. Facts don't matter. Yeah, I'm with you. I thought that would have been a nice gesture and been like, hey, Shedeur, first rookie start, you helped us win. Congratulations. I think everybody would have just gone absolutely crazy, and that was a really, low risk, high reward doing that. I mean, these game balls, I've seen dozens of them given out in games. They're just picking ones out of the box and giving them to guys. So they for sure could have given him one and made everybody happy. I don't know why they didn't. Maybe it's just a rookie thing where Coach Stefanski's like, hey, I hate all rookies and they're not getting game balls. That's just my opinion. I don't know. It's just speculation. But yeah, that young man's going to get plenty of game balls in his career. So I'm just waiting for the next one.
John, thank you for the good times. All the best.
Guys, happy Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Always
same to
good
you.
being on with you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
same to you. I forgot there was a holiday coming up on Thursday. I apologize.
That's right. I hope your voice comes back.
Yeah, I hope it does too. I like getting loud. This sucks. I didn't expect this to happen today.
And happy birthday, Bernie Kosar, Boardman, Youngstown legend, and glad to hear he's out of the hospital.
People need to know this, that both Bernie's jersey and John's jersey are at the Canes in Boardman. I want to point that out to everybody. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I knew they were at the MVR in downtown Youngstown, the great MVR.
That's right.
With another Youngstown and Browns legend, Ishmaeli Kitchen.
Yes, Ishmaeli Kitchen.
Congratulations on all your success.
It's true. And that's where I had my dinner for our engagement ceremony. What was that? No, what's that called? The rehearsal dinner. That's what it was. We had it at the MVR, and I looked over. I go, I hope I know John Greco someday. I hope I talk to him every Tuesday. And here we are. My dreams have come true. I didn't even want kids then. I just wanted to talk to you, John.
That's young people out there listening to this. Dreams do come true, and just work hard, and you'll get your jersey hung at MVR, or you'll get to have your rehearsal dinner where there's Youngstown legends hung in a restaurant.
Indeed.
Proudly serving Youngstown since 1927.
Oh, they're fantastic. John, thank you for the time.
You guys, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.